We're professionals.
Yeah.
Welcome back to another episode of This Week in ZA, the podcast where we dive into the world of software engineering over a slice of pizza. My name's Kodad, here with my guest Chad on the other side. And every week we sit down with a guest from the industry to talk culture, projects, and everything in between while eating some good food. Today's guest is Mark Stone, the professor and director of the Prairie Initiative, and we are eating the Sweet Heat pizza from Casey's, continuing the theme of the season. So stick around to hear some great insights, share a laugh or two, and maybe get a little bit hungry. Let's dig in.
All right. Other than kind of being on this podcast, what's your biggest or funniest mistake you can tell us as part of this?
Yeah, so unlike Zach, I did watch the first 5 episodes of the last, so I had a little bit of a heads up. So I was thinking about that. And for any of these types of questions, for the next 2 weeks, I'll be thinking of like, oh, that's what I should have, right? Because these can go from trivial to profound, right? But one, when I was thinking about eating, I was thinking of, I interviewed at the University of New Mexico 15 years ago. They like spicy food.
Oh.
So they took us to like the local breakfast joint, and they're like, here's the chili, and you put it on top. I'm like, I like spicy food. Like, all right. And I deal pretty well with spicy food. But this is like 7 in the morning. And on one of those days when you have zero control over your restroom schedule, right?
Oh, no.
And I'm like 3 bites in. I'm like, oh, I've made a terrible mistake, right? I'm like trying to push it off, like off to the side, just eat around it. I'm like, this is one of those, you don't like just, hey, it's like, can you excuse me for 15 minutes? Like, not one of those days. I'm like, so.
Oh, wow.
Got through the day, got the job, so I guess it worked out.
Hey.
But, so at least I cut off my mistake midway. But that was a terrible mistake.
Was it super hot? Like
it was pretty darn hot.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, New Mexico food is
it?
It's spicy.
It's legit. Okay.
Yeah. Like literally, you put like the hot green chili sauce across the top of the burrito.
That sounds good.
It's really good.
Maybe it's too hot.
You want some like volition in your schedule for the next several hours. And I did not have that luxury.
Yeah.
So like, okay.
They probably were aware of that.
I'm sure there's like,
there's like, he's making the
mistake. What happens?
That was the test.
Let's see if the guy can hang.
Didn't we have some spicy stuff on a pie once? Or we were going to corner somebody? One of the guests talked about having spicy stuff on their pizza. It was like chili flakes or something that we did that was just stepped everything up way too much.
The classic in New Mexico is green chili pepperoni pizza. Like that is the number one.
Really?
So it's just like a regular pepperoni, but then you put on some green chili on top, and it just makes it pop. It's really awesome.
Actually, I think a lot of them, like we're both big fans of jalapeno cream cheese on pizza.
Yeah. But with green chili, it's a little less on the spice and more on flavor. Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah, we'll try that. When we start making our own pies, when we create our own pizza place,
next
to go with our handle sauce we're working on.
Nice.
Now we kind of go in and look at what is everybody thinking on this pizza, and the guest, which we'll give you a second to get another bite in.
Talk amongst yourselves.
So we rate on a scale of 1 to 10, or 0 to 10, or 0 to 100 if you want to put some decimal places in there. Usually what we tell folks is 0, 1, 2, 3 is, pizza's so bad I'm not going to finish it, I don't want to eat it. 3 and 4 is it's just, it's pizza, it's good, it's fine. Get to the 6, 7, 8 range, it's usually you're going to start recommending it to people. If you're really enjoying it, you'd order it again. And a 9 or 10 is usually the kind of pizza that you're going to keep eating until you hate yourself.
Got it.
Or keep eating regardless of your bathroom schedule options later.
Right. Always part of the consideration. Context.
Yeah.
Context. Yeah, I think it's pretty solid. I probably would only put it around a 7 or so, though. In general, I really like Casey's Pizza. But this one isn't jumping out to me, especially in any way. We've already established the terribility.
Yeah.
It wasn't where we wanted it to be. It was closer to perforated than cut. But it's still really good pizza. I mean, this is definitely on the way home from work. You didn't have time to make the proper arrangements. You grab this, you are really happy. Everyone's happy. But I wouldn't go out of my way for it.
Actually, I'm going to also go a 7. I think this one, just from like a name and what it has on it, makes me, I think I should give it an 8. Like, I love a little bit of heat in pizza. I love pepperoni. I love sausage. It's like, how could it, maybe like when you had like a cream cheese, or actually, to be honest, it needs more heat.
Green chili.
Green chili.
Green chili would be good on there.
It needs a little more heat. So that's where I would Great pizza. I also agree it is perforated. It's not cut, which is a little bit of an interesting choice for a pizza place. You can choose either. I'd prefer the cut.
Yeah, I don't know if,
Yeah,
that-
yeah.
I don't know if that's something they're going for now.
Yeah,
but-
yeah, perforated pizza.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'd go with 7.5. Like it's good, but it does need just something a little extra. You put cream cheese on that, I think you're talking over an 8 pretty easy. I think even if it was more honey-y, like there's a little sweetness in there, but usually when I'm thinking sweetness, I'm thinking hot honey these days. And it just seems like they just put a little cayenne in their marinara, and it's just like a family-friendly, spicy marinara sauce more than like a really hot thing or really sweet thing. It just kind of tastes like spicy pepperoni, which is good.
Yeah, yeah. Actually, I do think this would be, kind of the classic family-friendly, spicy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Almost anyone could eat this. It's
Yeah.
not that spicy that it's
As
going to
soon
knock
as you
you
said
out.
it needed more heat, I was like, yeah, I think you nailed it there. Either needs cream cheese, obviously. Jalapenos or green chilies would elevate it a lot, or if it was just spicier. I think any one of those things could take it up a notch. But not offensive. I'd still
No, I
I'd
totally
eat
get
it.
it. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. You want to take the first question or me to you?
Go for it, because I don't know what we're doing.
Okay. Just so you know,
And this is when I stopped watching the last podcast. So
we
I have no
don't-
idea.
Yeah, once you get down to the pizza review, what else is there?
it's called This
I
Week in
get it.
Saw.
I get it.
No, I mean,
There's more?
yeah, there's more. Yes, we're done. That's a great episode, people. Maybe kind of give us your backstory, how you got to your current role. Actually, let's just go there. I want to ask some secondary questions. But let's go to there first.
Yeah, and for context, my nephew's in the room who's
Oh, yeah.
looking, trying to figure out his career path. And I think mine's the example of who knows. Like
That was your career path?
Yeah, it's just gone all over the place. I did a bachelor's degree here in Nebraska in biosystems engineering, kind of a degree I kind of found by accident. Loved it.
Well,
but
how do you
that
mean
was-
I found by accident?
Yeah, I literally applied to like a different program. Like one of the deans saw my application, was like, well, maybe you meant to apply to this one. And like, I checked it out. I'm like, yeah, this seems good. And
kinda awesome.
set me on a good route. And then, went to graduate school and all that. Circled a lot. I was away from Nebraska for 25 years
Oh, wow.
before coming back. So got to live in Nevada, New Mexico, worked all over the world, and then came back to Nebraska for more of a leadership opportunity. And then throughout that, I was doing more and more research that was in the AI, machine learning type space. And I've seen, like you guys have, like how this has just become an absolute revolution. So more and more, as I see how it's reshaping higher education in general, I had this like calling of like, I want to work specifically on figuring out how to help the university go through this transition.
Okay.
And then that kind of opened up to me serendipitously, that opportunity to kind of help lead that effort. So I'm like, okay, that's it. That's where I need to be right now. So the path that takes you all over, look for opportunities, see what pops up, and then serendipity hopefully kicks in.
Are you from Nebraska originally?
Yep, grew up in northeast Nebraska.
Okay,
Cool farm up there.
Nice.
Yep.
Bunch of small town kids then.
Yep. Born and raised. Yeah, love it here.
The number of people in Lincoln that come from a small town. Or yours actually even a farm. You were a farm
Yep,
kid,
farm
right?
kid, yep.
It's shocking.
Yeah.
I mean, it's way more than you would expect.
Even more when state tournaments going on, and you can tell it in the driving.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. Last week was state.
Yeah.
Girls volleyball.
Girls volleyball, yeah. Okay. Yep. I used to drive like that.
Yeah. You get a little worried about every roundabout, right?
Yeah.
You're like,
Yeah,
are
you're
they
like-
going to stop when they come around that edge?
Yeah, this is a new experiment.
Yeah, yeah.
I get it. I was once them.
Yep. Yeah.
Then I lived in Las Vegas, and now I drive like a total jerk. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Now I'm like Lincoln's like too calm for me, and I'm like all aggressive. I'm like,
That'd
calm
be
down,
almost
man.
crazy.
It's okay. It's okay. Calm down.
Is it rough there driving?
Yeah, Las Vegas is all like LA refugees, right? It's all these, so they're used to giant freeway systems,
And they just
each
go
other
like
off,
crazy.
and they just go. So it's when I coined the term: don't be a defensive driver, be an offensive driver. You need to be the aggressor.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you'll
If
never.
you're being defensive, you might never get out of the parking lot.
Oh, wow.
Like you better get on it. Yeah,
So you lived in Vegas for a while.
yeah, 4 years.
What'd you think of Vegas?
Yeah, it is a fascinating place. Yeah, I lived there 4 years. I worked at a place called the Desert Research Institute. Phenomenal place. It's associated with the university, with UNLV. Really great opportunity.
Okay.
I really like the place, but Las Vegas is a weird place to live. I mean, it's just a weird place. I think it's changed a lot since then. Maybe it's a little bit more of a community, but at that time it was such a transient place.
Really?
Had,
Okay.
They had something like 10,000 people per month moving in, and like 6,000 people per month moving out.
Wow.
So, like, if you met someone who had been there for more than 2 years, that was almost like the weird anomaly,
You're like,
right? What made you stay so long?
Get out of here.
So that's a different type of community, compared
Yeah.
to like Lincoln, where people are from here, from the state,
Yeah.
like they're invested here, like they know each other. So that part was really weird to me. On the plus side, the food's phenomenal. The outdoor scene there, right?
Yeah,
You're within
sure.
hours of Death Valley, Grand Canyon,
Yeah, Grand
Zion,
Canyon,
Bryce, like all these incredible places. So we really enjoyed it for that. But the day to day was pretty bizarre.
Sure.
Yeah.
And and I'm assuming it only really affects you like 4 months of the year, but the heat is, I don't care if they say it's dry or not.
The heat is brutal.
Yeah.
And here's the catch that no one tells you. the brutal part is when you should be enjoying summer.
Yep.
The long days, like you get off
Oh,
work,
yeah.
you still have like 3 hours till sunset, the mountains are there, you're like, no. You're stuck in air conditioning, you can't go out. As soon as it starts to get really nice out, it's like daylight savings time ends, and like it's dark at 5.
Oh, I didn't think about that.
It's like the timing doesn't line up with, but
Yeah.
the diurnal patterns and the
Yeah.
seasonal patterns don't line up very well, or at least an outdoor lifestyle.
Yeah, if you go out into the like more mountainous areas, probably the temperature isn't quite as horrible. Or is it pretty horrible there too?
Depends. Like
Really?
desert can be pretty darn hot, so
Okay.
and you have to get pretty decent elevation before you pick up the vegetation.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there is no. You just have
it's
to.
hard to escape. I mean, you
Yeah,
have to
120.
invest in escaping.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't think
It's
about
different.
that. Yeah.
It's different.
I'll just stay here. I like the weather here.
Yeah.
Here you have it all, like
You get it all. You.
often in the same hour.
Yes. 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 If you don't like it, wait an hour.
Just wait an hour.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
You might get something different.
Yeah.
So you talked about AI stuff and how you had that interest in it and you kind of wanted to go that route. Are you seeing, or I guess from your experience and what you're doing, are these more transitional approaches with AI where you're saying we were doing it this way and now we have to change gears, do it a completely different way? Or is this a transformative thing where you're kind of doing the same thing but you're just seeing huge bumps in efficiency or how good something works because of AI?
Yeah, good question. I think it's still definitely unfolding in front of us, but I truly see this is going to be a transformational process that we're going through. I think on higher ed, we are still coming to terms with that, and we're not built to change quickly for a lot of good reasons. Right? You don't want to just chase every
Yeah.
trend. That's
Yeah,
not
right.
efficient for anybody, and that's not for the the good of the state or whatever. But this is the fastest the technology has ever hit us in this way. So this is different than we're used to. But I think it's going to completely transform the way the university operates across everything.
yeah.
All things. Like it's going to affect all majors. It's going to affect the way we deliver our courses. Right? It's changing, certainly changing the student process for engaging with information.
Sure.
And the way they learn, sometimes for the better, sometimes not so much. So we have to figure out, like you can't just bolt it on and say, here's our core, we've always done this and we're gonna bolt it on at the end. It's
Right.
like we've gotta really rethink how we deliver curriculum and how these new ways of interacting with information and knowledge are gonna be part of that educational journey.
Right.
And that's a profound shift we haven't had for a very long time.
Yeah, had to be
Yeah,
since
may-
like the personal computer, cell
Yeah,
phone,
At
it's
least
a huge
right?
leap
At
like
least,
that.
or maybe since Socrates, maybe I don't know.
Yeah. Look
This
at
is-
that. That is a good example, actually. Like personal computer. I went to school when that was already there, right? But before that, that was probably a big change of what people could do, and now they suddenly had computers. But now it's not just computers, but you have, and it's not just access to all information, which kind of you could claim Google gave everybody access to all information.
Yeah.
But now you can actually get it about this. It can use your own context to generate something for you. I mean,
Yeah.
it's kind of crazy.
I had there's always like the reality checks of where the technology is.
Yeah.
The reality check I had last week was a colleague of mine at another university had posted like a student came to her for office hours, but it was for a different class. She couldn't find her professor. So she was trying to help the student with something that was not her expertise. But she eventually got there, right? And she was like holding it up for like the screenshot of like, I got there. And I was like, let me see. Just screenshot, dropped it into GPT, It said, can you recover the parts that are covered by her hands and work out this complete problem for me and tell me like what assumptions were involved and then give me a new example of a similar problem. And like, you know, here we are a minute later, went into thinking mode.
Yeah.
Like a minute later, perfect.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's where we are right now.
Right.
But then at the same time, I'm like working on an event in a couple of weeks, and I can't figure out that Monday is the 13th, Tuesday is the 14th. It's like they're both the 13th for some reason, right? So it's interesting where some places it can do so exceptionally well, and other places like that is easy.
Yeah.
And it still struggles with those like basic logic. But,
Yeah, the dates have kind of always been a bane of software, because anybody that's worked on software, trying to get like the right time, if you have to factor in multi-time zones, is always a hot mess. Even if you're using software to do it, it probably won't work all the time.
Yeah.
Then if you factor in daylight savings time and that kind of stuff, it gets even worse. If we wanted to build an economic stimulus program, we add another level to daylight savings time and see the expense that creates in the economy.
Yeah.
It'd be horrendous.
Yeah.
No one would be able to figure it out.
Yeah. But I do think this is a different beast.
Yeah.
I mean, I've in my day, the internet was just coming on during my undergraduate days. Like personal computers existed, but people weren't like fully empowered with laptops and whatnot.
Right.
And then we had the YouTube / social media coming through, and then like the Chegg of it all, like students being able to find homeworks and exchange things through those programs. For each of those as an educator, I was like, okay, I need to adjust. Like, I'm going to do things a little bit differently. I know what resources they have. I'm going to like adjust it for that, or in some ways maybe even embrace it. This is such a higher level of like never before did we have a student can like literally put in all of their material.
Yeah.
And 10 minutes later have solutions to that material.
Right.
Like that is a new.
Yeah.
And also it begs the question of, well, how useful are those homeworks where you're like doing these things, and like are those the things we need to be teaching our students? Are those going to be relevant in their career 5 years from now, 10 years from now, or
What
are there
does give
other
them-
higher level things we need to be focusing on?
Right. I always kind of wonder, when I was growing up, I remember cursive being such a thing. Everyone yelling at me about cursive and how, you don't get to write like that anymore. Now everything's cursive.
Yeah.
I always wondered, like, what kind of thinking and processing are we doing now that's going to be the cursive of the future, because, like, it's just a skill we don't need anymore because we have the tools that let us do that so much faster and focus on other things that we're better at anyway. Like, I don't know yet.
Yep.
I need the higher education people to tell me
Yep.
how I'm thinking wrong.
Yep.
Cursive of the future. Good band name.
Yeah, my cursive is not strong.
We should have each guest have to write cursive, and we show it like afterwards as like making fun of them.
Can you read this?
Yeah, can you read his cursive? No.
Yeah.
And AI would always do it though.
Yeah, I can do it. Yeah,
AI
I can
probably
do
would.
it. Yeah.
But I couldn't. That's right.
Yeah. But there are so many of those things where you do it because you do it.
Yeah.
Like I was taught, so you have to learn it. And a lot of those need to be really looked at, and then really figuring out what are those higher level skills, the durable skills, as we like to call them, because soft skills is kind of doesn't sound quite right.
Sure.
But the durable skills, things like systems thinking, how you're pulling together complex information, human interactions, leadership. Those are the things that AI is not going to ever be good at.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's where we need to make sure we're getting our students. So it's a profound shift, but doesn't mean it's bad.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's a shift.
And if you're trying to prep people going forward, like being able to, and I think there's probably, if we go back to a calculator example, there probably is some advantage to being able to do long division. But I'll be quite honest, it would take me a second to do that by hand, but I can do it really, really fast with a calculator or any other variety of tools.
Yeah.
So there is kind of like, what are we giving them that's going to be, because no one's going to ask them, can you do long division?
Be another good challenge for your guests going forward.
Doing long division?
This will be.
We roll out a whiteboard.
This should be the new. This is the new segment where I get to challenge the next guest.
Yes. Oh, okay. I do like that. That's
a great
I do
idea.
like this idea.
Boy, if I had to do long division right here in front of you guys, if it wasn't pretty straightforward, I would struggle.
Oh, yeah, we all would.
It's been a long time since that symbol.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Like,
We'd have to hide what they said in the podcast though, and publish it like in the next one.
yeah. It'd have to be like a
That way you
time.
can't watch the episode beforehand.
Right.
Like, oh,
No,
know.
I think we let them.
Right. Yeah,
A lot of people
Just
probably
practice
are
it.
kind of get ambushed. They don't know what's they're
Yeah.
coming up. They'll be fine.
If I had a couple hours to prepare, I don't know if I can do long division.
Yeah, you'd be fine. 15 minutes, you probably are really good at
Yeah,
it.
come back and
You're fine.
oh yeah. I remember how these like the decimals work. Okay, I got it.
If you throw it into one of the GPTs asking
And it
you
can
to
teach
like,
me.
reteach me long division in 30 seconds, you're probably good.
Probably
like you
be
probably
good.
have 3 minutes and you're back to good.
Yep, probably so. Probably so. I'll try that tonight.
Yeah, actually, I might do it as well. Because if we do a guest, I want to be able to answer the question too.
There's your other segment.
Yeah.
Guest versus AI.
Ooh, I like that.
That's what I'm here for.
What if that guest wrote it down and we kept it in the sealed envelope, and then we opened it live, and then all three of us had to do the challenge from the previous
I
one?
like this.
Because then we're in the same boat of like, oh, long division,
I like
I
this
like
a lot,
this.
especially because I'm off the hook.
Yes, actually, this works
really
great
like
for
this.
you.
You get to write the first
If you,
envelope.
I'll give you a piece of paper afterwards and an envelope. We'll figure this out.
This is beautiful.
I do like this. This is the best new segment we have.
You can always count on me.
Yeah, it's a good
Make
one.
life harder for other people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you have another question? I thought you were going to ask something.
I don't.
Okay.
I need another slice of pizza.
Oh man, I don't think I'd want to eat. What food could you eat after 6 years? Another new segment.
Spam? Maybe something like in a can, or it has to be sitting out?
Spam you can probably last quite a while.
In the can or sitting on the table?
Yeah, once you pop the top.
You know, once you pop the top, you got to eat within like a week or two.
Yeah.
I want some.
There's some things that'll last a long time.
If you just took some food and put it on the table and put like a glass dome over the top of it and let it sit for 5 years, what would you actually still eat?
None of it if it's all under the same dome.
Yeah, separate domes. Yeah, separate domes are
It's all
great.
under the same dome. I'm giving up on all of this.
Maybe some dried pasta.
Yeah, 'cause spam.
Dried pasta might last.
Dried pasta would last a very long time.
Beans.
Yeah, so ramen noodles basically.
Yeah, ramen noodles would last.
Yeah. Yeah.
Those will make it past the
Apocalypse?
apocalypse.
Yeah.
Yes.
But somebody's done that with like a McDonald's cheeseburger. They just like put it on the table and put it under a glass thing, and it's just been sitting there, and it still looks like the day they put it in there.
That's because it's all preservatives.
Right. So what would the pizza do?
Surprised it didn't just walk away.
Yeah.
It's gone.
All right, as we're, you mentioned schools that you're, professor at UNL. What are you seeing the biggest, challenge for the students, for them going forward? And I think it's tough to know when you said this earlier. What should we be teaching them? So I'm guessing.
Yeah, so we've just recently, as part of the Prairie Initiative, set up a student advisory board. The initiative's only a few months old, so this is early in our process, but we set up a student advisory board. And that group has been really great. They've got a lot of energy, but they've also been really helping us to figure out like where are the gaps, how can we be the most effective. And we've only had a couple meetings, but our last meeting, it's up to 14 people now, just because the students are like, can I be on the board? And like, that does not happen with students, right? Students don't say, can I be a part of a committee to meet on Zoom and talk about things? Like, that's not, so that shows you kind of the energy behind this.
Right.
But we just did the real-time polling on their priorities so that we could shape kind of the mandate of the group to meet what they see as most pressing. And we had things on there like GPU access and like AI coding advice and things like that. We're like, okay, these are all engineering students, right? Number one thing was like consistent governance. They are so frustrated with the inconsistency from professor to professor, class to class, of when can you use it, when is it embraced versus completely against the rules. How is it being interpreted? So they're really looking for clarity today on what is acceptable use, what is responsible use. So that's, I think, for us,
Yeah.
kind of the number one mandate is to try and bring greater consistency
Yeah.
to the institution so that students don't have to navigate this on their own one by one.
Or different. I mean, they literally, every
Yeah.
class, if it's different, that's kind of hard for any student.
Yeah, so to have like a framework, always professors are going to need to interpret what's best for
Yeah.
their students in their environment, but at least some consistency in the framework and the taxonomy so that students say, all right, in this class, it looks
Actually,
this way.
Just having a clear taxonomy, we're going to do it here,
Yeah.
by this, calling it something would be
Yep. And
80% of what they probably need.
exactly. So we're trying to have kind of these different permissible use categories, basically, and here's how you can use in different settings. And then faculty can basically put red light, green light,
Yeah.
yellow light on the different types and
Uses.
different places and just be consistent. But that's what we see is like the immediate need. It's just giving them some consistency But they, of course, are really concerned about workforce.
Yeah, actually,
they are
yeah.
very anxious about that. That's very real. We're seeing it already with our graduates that are coming out. That's where like Chad's course is helping to meet a need there for advancing their applied AI skills within their domain expertise. But they are, I think, pretty concerned about that. They are also concerned about the social, environmental, ethical issues. They really are. And these are thoughtful young people who are following social media and seeing what's happening in the world, and those things resonate with them. So I think across the boards, our young people are trying to figure out what this looks like. I think in the end they'll navigate it better than any of us because they're gonna be living it.
They do have an advantage. They're kind of being raised in it, so they have that kind of like people that kind of raised during their age of Google, where they learned how to search on Google from day one. They're probably better at it than people that aren't. John Green, the author, he has an example where he thinks he's really good at searching. I don't know if he is or isn't. He claims that in one of his books, that he's really good at searching Google.
Yeah, he's using all these Boolean
operators.
All these brackets.
But he was probably raised at an age, though, he probably is better than like someone that came before him at doing that. So these students right now do have the advantage. They're going to experience this from day one, so their take on it may be slightly different. But back to your survey, I was a little surprised. I had heard that before. The access to GPU or models wasn't a little higher priority. Because I was kind of expecting that's one thing I would want, is the ability to experiment more. And I was a little surprised. That was actually a little bit of a takeaway for me in a weird way.
And we'll dig a little deeper. We're meeting with them later again this week, but I think perhaps an aspect of it, I think you might have mentioned this, like maybe they're figuring that stuff out on their own. Like that's where they can do their own problem solving. But this other stuff, it's out of their hands, and they feel like a little disempowered, and they feel like this isn't quite fair. Versus, the students will find their GPU access. They'll figure out their free licenses. They've got 20 Gmail accounts.
They got
sign up early. They're clever.
I mean, that's maybe what they're doing. They each have 20 Gmail accounts, and that's how they're getting a bunch of
used up all my free credits on that one. Over here, so I think perhaps they're finding solutions there that aren't ideal, but
they're working.
It's working.
And some of the models you can run on your own machine. They just don't run as they aren't as the big models that are really good. And I do think there's maybe in the software space or in the engineering space, I would assume they do know the paid models are better. Cause I was talking to some people and they're just using a lot of the free tier, kind of the low stuff. So I was a little bit like, you maybe don't even realize how much better this could be. That's when there's just a lot of people that don't know. They are just kind of living on this is okay. It's doing some stuff for me.
And if they're just trying to get help on an English paper or something, like
it's probably
don't
okay.
The art. But if you're trying to solve advanced mathematics, frontier models make a big difference.
If you're trying to write code and you don't have access to, there's a lot of models that can help you write code, but the better models are going to help more.
Especially as the code gets more complex.
If you're just trying to solve like a really simple, we're going to drop out some Fibonacci numbers or something for a while. You can do that with a lot of things. All of them could solve that problem. But if you're trying to integrate multiple pieces of software and get it all to work.
They're going to want the latest.
They'll want. So maybe that's been a little why I haven't seen that push there. But
The student board, that's interesting that group came together. That makes sense that they're all eager to kind of put their 2 cents in and know what's happening. Is there something equivalent like that happening on the faculty side of thing? And what's that like? Are you seeing more of like a pushback from these people that haven't been exposed to this as much and they don't want it to interrupt how they're teaching their stuff?
It's all over the place. So we do have a bunch of committees on a bunch of different fronts. We have a couple of faculty committees. One is just our visioning committee, I call them, and that's represented across the college. And then we also have just a curriculum committee, and they're trying to help us more with like that governance type issues. Those groups, it's self-selection. So those members of our faculty are like ready to go. They're trying to figure it out. They see the power. They're probably using these things all the time on their own. If you look more broadly across even engineering, there is really a very wide diversity of perspectives on how fast they're adopting tools or pushing back or or incorporating them into their work for their classes.
Right.
Across campus, even more so. I mean, there are certainly people on campus, and I think it's completely legitimate, that feel like this is not a good thing for society, and they are pushing back on it.
Right.
There's people signing pledges to never use it.
Oh, really? What's
Yeah.
I guess I
Yeah.
didn't know. What,
Yeah.
what do you think is the most common reason they're signing the pledge never to use it?
Yeah, it's all those ethical.
It's one of those-
issues.
it's one of those.
Yeah, it's
Ethical,
either
environmental or
Yeah,
something
it's
like
either
that.
environmental, or it's related to like the intellectual property
Okay.
issues, or like how data sovereignty concerns, or like a
Yeah.
whole range of issues that they are concerned with, and I think those are all very legitimate.
Yeah.
Where I try to engage with that part of the discussion, though, is you might not recognize how embedded all of these tools are already
Yeah.
in everything you do. So, like, opting out of using AI is a very tall challenge.
Yeah.
So the question is, do you want to become an engaged user with it, or are you okay being a passive user because it's showing up in your Netflix streaming and your
Yeah.
Spotify and your autocomplete,
Yeah.
all these other things? Like, if you want to not do all those things, it's a big lift. If you're drawing the line that you don't want to engage with large language models and generative type tools, like, those are all personal decisions people. But I want them to be educated by what they mean when they say they're not going to use AI. It's
Yeah.
like, it's not that simple. It's not a this is AI, this is not. It's
Right.
like, this stuff is ubiquitous in all we do. If you're using the adaptive cruise control on your car,
Yeah.
you're using AI. Like, this is everywhere, and each individual has to figure out what it means to them. But to your question, it's across the board. So we have people like writing frontier models over on one part of campus, and maybe 3 offices down, you have someone who's signing the pledge to never use AI. And, that's, I think, what comes with these types of transformational tools and technologies. You're always gonna, and I don't think of it as people that are ahead and people who are behind. I think all these people are at legitimately where they are, and they have their views based on their experiences and their understanding of the technologies, and they're gonna have to figure out, we're gonna have to figure out collectively, like, what that balance looks like.
Yeah, I imagine there's the same thing, going to internet-based teaching, and the people that, had concerns with how that was going to work, and people having concerns with putting stuff, making digital resources for education instead of using an overhead projector. Like,
Yep.
they have great reasons for doing what they do and not doing what they don't want to do.
Absolutely.
It all makes sense, and hearing everybody's voices is probably just a big thing that will get more people on board, just hearing and understanding.
And to that example, even personally, I love pushing the frontiers of technology. I will teach a person face to face over any type of digital technology in a heartbeat if I have the
100%.
option, right? You can do extremely good job with digital technologies, but there's still something about being across the table from someone and like getting the lights to come on and seeing that interaction. So it's like, even though I've always been the person of like, we need to go online, we need to do these things, like, I think those arguments are still legitimate. It's
Yeah.
not that simple, and technologies have trade-offs,
Yep.
and that needs to be, I think, fully acknowledged.
Oh yeah, I teach much better when I can sit down with an intern or whoever and point at the screen and say what.
Yep.
And that just makes more sense than being,
Yep.
seeing somebody in a window on it. Sometimes.
See their face if it's connecting, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, especially from an education, if you're teaching a room of Zoom, you have no idea how well you did.
Yeah.
If you're in person, I think did they get it or did they not?
Yeah.
And you kind of know at points too if they're getting bored, like you need to speed up the pace. Sometimes you're like, oh, I maybe need to kick in gear here. We're kind of being a little repetitive. Or sometimes you're like, I don't think anybody's getting it. You can. In person, I think Zoom, I have no or almost no ability to get that unless the students told me those pieces of information.
A little bit of teaching into the void.
Yeah.
And I think another, to me at least, legitimate perspective, all these aspects are legitimate, but
Yeah.
something I've experienced
Yeah.
is that many
Except
of us-
for.
wait for the envelope.
Yes.
But many of us went into the field of higher education because we enjoy interacting with students and like having that interaction. It's not like a job for glory and fame and high pay,
Yeah.
right? So if you're telling people, no, this is more efficient and this is the way we're gonna go and we're only gonna use technology, and it's like you're kind of ripping people's like soul out in some situations. And for me, the COVID era was like that, right?
Sure.
Oh, I was miserable. I enjoy teaching, and it's because I love being in front of my students. It's like if I had to do that the rest of my career,
You
I
would
would have
switch
left.
careers?
I would switch careers for
Yeah.
sure. No way I could have done that any
Yeah.
longer. I taught class in the park, literally.
Oh, really?
Because we couldn't be in the classroom. They're like, it's all Zoom. I'm like, can I teach outside?
So
and I took a whiteboard and
that's spring?
strapped it to a tree. It
That's-
was like the fall of 21 when we
Oh.
like went back in with, what was the variant that popped up?
Oh, I don't. Would you? Okay.
Yeah. It depended on the institution, but our
Okay.
institution was taking a stricter perspective.
Oh, okay.
on
Because I
it.
was like UNL.
Yeah, I think
felt
here they
were-
did the social distancing and still had classes and
Yeah,
such.
so but you did that first spring.
Yeah.
All went remote.
Yeah.
And I remember that was my first experience remote teaching, and I was just like,
what is this?
"What is this?" And
Yeah.
Then I was like, you had to deal with the what if they don't have computer access all the
Yeah.
time? So then you kind of like, well, I can't force them to be online.
Yeah.
At the right. So
Yeah.
then am I making videos?
Yeah.
It was a.
It was a weird.
I wouldn't
period.
want to do that every
So
time.
that,
either.
that was my workaround. I took I bought a chalkboard on Amazon and I would strap it to a tree
Really?
and everyone would gather around. Wow, this is like Socrates. Here we go.
Yeah, yeah, it actually does feel.
And it was the best I ever taught, but by far. And I also worked in technology because I did kind of flip classroom type
Yeah.
thing. So I'd have like 10-minute video lectures that they were required to watch before the class. That kind of covered the meat of it. And then we'd go to the park and I'd work problems and take questions and just do stuff on the fly. Best class I ever had.
I guess the other thing cool about at that time, also that interaction was probably really valuable.
Oh yeah, the students
As well,
really appreciated it. Yeah.
I don't know, outdoor. This is one area where Nebraska's not great
Yeah.
for.
Yeah, we pushed it till like Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
After that, I was like, all right, folks, doing it on Zoom this morning.
Yeah. Or some states,
Yeah.
like in Southern California, you can do it every time, all the time outdoors.
Yeah.
Like,
And
it
Mexico
doesn't-
can push it a bit.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
it does get cold eventually.
Yeah. And we're always windy too, so
Yeah.
strapping it to a tree, you'd be like,
Yeah, exactly.
It wouldn't be that bad if it went for that wind.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's the state motto, right?
yeah.
The tourist bureau could use some help from us.
Yeah.
Wouldn't be that bad if it wasn't for the wind. Nebraska.
Nebraska.
Honestly, the wind's not for everybody.
Wind's over.
Yeah.
Cool. Outro?
Outro.
Cool.
Outro.
Let's see. If you have opinions about the wind in Nebraska, leave
Or
it in
do
the
you
comments
want-
down below.
Yeah. Or help the tourism office,
Yeah.
whatever. With your own suggestions.
Yeah, or if you have an idea for something for us to challenge the guests to, let us know. If you like the episode, don't forget to like and subscribe. Ring the bell if you want notifications of when we publish our next video. Mark, thank you for coming on.
My pleasure.
Russ, thank you for making us look and sound good every week. What else do I normally say?
You already talked about ring the bell, get that dopamine hit. You already talked kind of about that.
I feel like I'm forgetting something. Anyway,
I like to say
tune in.
smash that like
Yeah,
button.
smash the like.
Yeah.
Tune in next time. I think we're doing the AI episode next.
Yeah.
Is that true or is it Aaron?
I think we're planning on interviewing the AIs next.
So our next guest will look a little bit different, and maybe that would be a good challenge, something to challenge them with.
Ooh, so be thinking about that. You'll be
Yeah.
challenging AIs.
Long division and then calendar dates.
Calendar dates, they'll fail.
Yeah, just get it right. So tune in next time to see how that train wreck unfolds. I'm sure we'll be eating some more Casey's Pizza again. So see you then.
What type of language is acceptable?
Because I do post this to Career Pathway, so keep
Yeah,
it like
keep it clean.
Yeah, PG-13. Because otherwise, I have to
Family friendly like the
Yeah.
pizza? Okay.
Like yes, like the pizza. You have an interesting second home. I wonder if you could tell you a little bit about kind of how you ended up there and kind of what's there, and kind of what's that like.
Yeah, so my partner and I are global citizens, and we enjoy that. She's from another country, and we've explored the world a lot. But yeah, we're also setting up another place in Patagonia, in Chile. And it's nearly complete, so we have a friend who has a place both in New Zealand and New Mexico, and he inspired us to say, you don't have to live through winter in short days and everything else, so we're going for it.
When do you want to be living down there 100%?
We see it as a transition process. I mean, I'd go tomorrow.
Oh, you would?
If I could. But the reality is, we've got a lot of commitments back here and a lot of things to get done. So our goal is maybe within 5 to 10 years, we're spending more than, at least 6 months a year
Every year
down
there.
there. Yeah.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
What's the place like down there, weather-wise, and
yeah.
you have like what, a 400-hour flight to get there?
It's 400 hours, door to door.
Door to door.
Yeah. No, you can do it
Quarter of a
about.
year.
18 usually door to door for flights. It's not terrible, and it's only a couple hour time zone difference, so that helps. Jet lag is more about the jet itself than the time zone change. But it's a beautiful area. It's kind of like the Pacific Northwest, like the Willamette Valley, get that kind of a vibe.
You're not that elevated, are you?
No, it's really low actually. It's a couple hundred feet above
Oh,
sea level.
okay.
Yeah, but the Andes are right there, so you're looking at 16,000 feet in front of you. Yeah.
And you're nearly sea level then.
Yep, you're nearly sea level. Yep.
That's crazy.
Nowhere to go but up.
Yeah, nowhere to go
Give
but
it
up.
up. Yep. Yeah. Yeah. It's a beautiful zone, beautiful area. It's called the Lakes region, Los Lagos, and yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah, that's really cool. Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.